lot of people been asking about the new Lotus, so I figured I'd do a little live, giving my little my initial impressions on it. I smoked about 2 bowls yesterday, so this will be my 3rd bowl out of it. Yesterday I smoked it out of the regular Samsara's bowl. I also used the Don bowl, and now I'm using the one of the Mason bowls. I know one of people's worries were that it wouldn't fit on different bowls. It fits just fine because the top actually sits on top of the Lotus bottom, not the actual bowl, so there won't be any problems there. The bottom of the Lotus is actually deeper where it falls in, so you're gonna get more shisha contact, especially if you pack a little higher for like a flood pack and stuff like that. You're gonna get more contact with the bottom of the shisha and the actual Lotus. I noticed my first thought would be that it doesn't actually get as hot as the other Lotus, just from my experience so far. Like my first Lotus, my other 2 Lotuses, I can't start with the lid on, or it starts to scorch the shisha a little bit. With this one, I tried to start it with the Lotus off yesterday just to try it out to start off with, and I was getting like no smoke at all. So I had to put the top on. So the second bowl, I started up, and then it started to come to life. For the second bowl, I smoked yesterday. I started the top on, and it started off fine. So to me, that kind of just tells me that it doesn't get as hot as the other Lotus, at least to start off with. There were times where I had to take the lid off because it got too hot. I think it's about ready. I think it's actually been about 10 minutes. So it definitely gets the clouds going. I'm smoking on my DSH Heavy, using the hose that came with it. Like I said, my Mason bowl with the Lotus 3 Superior hot heavy 3 Superior high heat formula codes. You always try to get contact the shisha. I've never actually even tried to use the first Lotus with foil, but here, let me see. I took a video yesterday. I might be able to show you from my phone what I mean by the bottom of this Lotus. So I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be able to. Here, you kind of see in this video I took the bottom of the Lotus to where it sits, so that all is kind of going to go down there. So you think about it, if you're going to foil it, you'll probably have to let me see if I can put this thing where I can see it while I'm talking. Let me figure something out. We just do that. Yeah, that'll work. So if you're going to do foil cars, I would imagine you might have to pack it lower, I would think, or cause I know when the video I saw people do the things, they kind of push it down in there, but the bottom of that Lotus to me seems like it sticks farther down, so you're gonna have to really push it down in there. But I'm sure you can do it with the foil. I'm not sure. I've never tried it. Only one I used, the bottom looks like the Phoenix. It's further down than the Phoenix though. To me, it definitely seems like it's further down with the Phoenix. But it actually, I mean, I like it. It kind of snug fits into it. But I definitely can tell by when I put the Lotus on the bowl, you know, the contact, I kind of had to push it down some to get it, you know, all the way in there. So, you know, I just feel like there's a little bit more contact. Yeah, actually, I take the lid off. All right, so you got this little piece here. I'll bring y'all up here. You got this little handle thing that comes with it. And basically, you got the little hook at the top here. And you just stick it in there. Trying to do it to one hand. Pop right off. Yeah, trying to do it with one hand. Okay, I need my other hand. But put it back over there. There we go. I think my coals are too high. I honestly use my tongs. I like my tongs better, but the handle does work good. But I, for some reason, just like using my tongs. Can't find them. Oh, cold. I don't feel like it's gonna regulate heat the same way. I mean, I'm sure it's not. I mean, you don't have the port at the top, so it's pretty much take the top off, take the top on, put that back on. I don't really see the little side vents having that much of a difference, but let me see what this car said. But like I said, so far I hadn't got like overpowering heat with the top on like the other Lotus would. Does the handle thing work? What do you mean by moving the bottom part, cars? Appreciate it, Jason. So I'm smoking Zur Blonde. I believe it was Royal Mango. Shoot, what am I smoking? Royal Mango. Um, Fun on the beach, fun at the beach, and I can't think of the other flavor. My wife loves it. Um, the bottom part where the cold sit. You mean like twisting it, or? I mean, pretty much it fits in there. I mean, I don't think it's made to pick the bottom part up at all, but I'm not sure. Yeah, let me see if I can bring you in here, and maybe you can tell me what it is what you're asking me. No, okay, guess you're busy. But so far, I've had to just pick it up with my hand. Um, so I don't think you'll be able to actually use the handle to pick it up. But uh, I guess like you're saying, the other one you couldn't really. But I've never had problems getting the other one out of. Oh, I've never had problems getting the other one out of the bowls. The difference to move the bottom part. But I mean, yeah, I haven't had any trouble getting it out of the bowl. If that's what you're asking, but I don't think the tool's made to take it out of the bowl. But um, all in all, I think it's a pretty good HMD. You know, I can't really speak on whether it's worth the money. I know that's what most people try to ask. You know, we all have a different value on things, but I enjoy it. It is kind of weird looking, but I do like it. I like to have options. I feel like I could use it for stuff that maybe doesn't want as much heat. Because like I said, I don't feel like it gets as hot as with three coals in it as the Lotus Plus did. But I think it's pretty legit. But I know a lot of people were worried about it fitting into other bowls, how to take the top off. Um, um, the longevity seemed like it was there yesterday when I smoked a couple full bowls of it. Um, but I always felt like the other loads had the same longevities and that type of thing. I think most of the HMDs these days are pretty good at that. The Phoenix, the Octopus, the Apple on top. Like with the Phoenix, I usually insert the tongs at the bottom just to remove it when it's still hot. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to pick it up with your tongs, probably from just the side of it. Um, I don't even remember how the inside of this thing looks. To I don't think it has holes through the bottom. This is how the bottom of it looks. Now, I took another video yesterday to kind of show you Um, I mean, actually, I think it would maybe depend on what bowl you have it on, because now I'm looking at this picture when I had it on the Dawn bowl yesterday, and there's some slits right here where you might be able to fit that into it. I wouldn't be able to try it with this bowl because it's sitting into the lip, but something like the Dawn bowl where it's just kind of sitting on top, it might actually work to do that. This is a video I took where you can kind of see that bottom a little better and how it kind of sits down into the bowl of the kind of sits down into the shisha, getting that contact or whatever it might be. So, but yeah, that's something I had to try with a different bowl. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it because of the lip of this bowl. But when I take it off this, I can definitely try it and get back to you on that. But I think like bowls where it actually sits into the lip, I don't think it's be possible. You got to use your tongs like you did the other Lotus. Probably even these can be taken out from the user bowls that lip. Yeah, I mean, because that lip it just sits right in there, so it kind of. But it almost looks like now looking at those slits, like they may have built this. I don't think so, man. This thing looks like it's too wide to go in there. So I'm gonna just guess that it's a no, and that you have to use your tongs. I usually just let the bowl cool off, and then take it off, or use my tongs, dump all the coals out. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much my first impressions. People just kind of wanted to know a little bit about it, so I figured why not? He had don't risk it at all. I figured why not? Just hop on live, give people some of my initial thoughts on it. I know Hookah John posted in his group earlier that he was I think he just got it in stock, so he should be selling it soon. I'm sure he's gonna do a video on it before he puts it up to give people his impressions. So if you're really looking for really good opinions, I would definitely see what he says also. He usually gives pretty unbiased opinions in my point. He's gonna tell you how he feels about it. So, but my opinion, I like it. It's a good HMD for me so far. I haven't had any problems. Um, it's an HMD. You throw some coals in it. But to me, it works. It produces. My coals isn't too much. I know I also saw some other people worried about the bumps inside, whether or not the coals would black out. They didn't black out any more than the previous Lotus does. It's gonna black out a little bit, but it wasn't to the point where like the whole bottom of my charcoal was blacked out, like when I use the Octopus because it has a flat bottom. They'll totally black out on the bottom, so it wasn't like that. It's a little blackness from on the bottom, but not to the point where it's fully blacked out. So I'd say it's about normal in that aspect. But yeah, man, that's what I think about it. I think it's a good HMD. I'd say do your research. I think they're sold out anyway, so I figure I'd give people a little content to think about before they come back in stock or before John puts them on the market. But like I said, he's probably gonna make a video for sure. Probably, I believe tonight he might hop on live. He said and give his impressions of it. So that'll probably be in the Hookah John Circle of Friends video page. So check that out. And, hopefully some more other people will give content so you can get really good opinions on it. But yeah, so appreciate y'all all tuning in. Hope this helps. If you have any other questions, let me know. Just reach out to me. I'll answer them. If you want to see pictures of any certain thing, I don't have no problem. I'll be bored most time anyway. So.